Good day, my name is Gregorio Maldonado Aguilar. My theme for this presentation is a proposal for the conservation of the Bighorn sheep, Ovis canadensis, in the international border of Baja California-California. As a matter of introduction, there's a big gap in the development programs of the Bighorn sheep between the United States and Mexico. In California, for example, the Bighorn sheep program is very dependent of constant reports that tell us the problematics of fish shown that the Bighorn sheep makes habitat of. These programs permit the hunt of certain number of individuals, and these obtained resources are reutilized in the development of management programs. In Mexico, these management reports are scarce. Even the states that allow the bighorn hunting, like Sonora and Baja California Sur, don't have regular reports of number of hunts, resource management, etc. Nevertheless, Sonora is the Mexican state with the highest success in its management program, with around 7,000 bighorn individuals, half of them with wilderness status. Baja California doesn't permit the hunt of the bighorn sheep since 1999. In the year 2012, this state developed a state strategy that permits the use of the bighorn sheep as a wildlife resource as an integral exercise between the actors interested in the conservation of the species. The study area of this work is La Rumorosa, a mountain part of Sierra Juárez that is located in direction east-west between the cities of Tecate and Mexicali, and north-south between the big highways Interstate 8 in California and number 2 in Baja California. The parallel is the composing area of the Jacumba Wilderness. Both these zones contain very notorious human infrastructure like the mentioned highways, the aqueduct Rio Colorado Tijuana, and various wind farms and aerogenerators on both sides on the border. Under the stewardship of Baja California, in 2013, the Autonomous University of Baja California, the San Diego Zoo, and the non-governmental organization Camion Sustenta conducted a study that consisted in the biosampling and tagging of 10 individuals of bighorn sheep in Sierra Juárez. 4 of these individuals, the rams number 6, 7, 8, and 9, were geotagged around the highway number 2 in Mexico. With these samples and tags, Buchaski and collaborators determined that this Mexican highway is a very important genetic barrier in the metapopulation of the bighorn sheep in the Peninsula Range, and seen in this image how the yellow and brown population are divided inside Mexican territory and not the wall-less international border. As we can see in the second illustration, the rams number 7 and 8, which are the red and blue points, were near the highway, but they couldn't cross it. This was in October 2014. In the United States, the area has a degree of protection under the United States Bureau of Land Management in the denominated Jacumba Wilderness, which led travelers to have an ecotouristic experience and a degree of control and regulation. To enter the wilderness, one must exit in the Desert View Tower exit in the Interstate number 8, a well-known touristic attraction in this area. In Mexico, any kind of control or management program in the parallel La Rumorosa is non-existent. The vast majority of these lands is composed by ejidos, and its owner, los ejidatarios, owns them, not the state or the federal government. These lands are rented to energy companies for the installation of aerogenerators and wind farms, a practice that was criticized by the President López Obrador. The state of Baja California has tried to declare La Rumorosa as a World Heritage Zone under the UNESCO, but the ejidatarios disagree as they will lose their lands without a compensation if the actual conditions are accepted. For this purpose, this work managed an integral proposal for the development of a protected area in La Rumorosa zone under terms of reference of the CONAMP, the federal institute in charge of the national parks like Constitution 8057, also in Sierra Juárez, famous for the Laguna Hanson. This proposal is based on the 3 main diagnoses: the ecosystemic one that covers the need of the species like the bighorn sheep and its habitat, demographic and socioeconomic, that tries to develop a management program that results beneficial to all the actors in the area, which include touristic and compensation programs for local townspeople. Institutional coordination is very important for the best development of the management program. Under these proposals, there are 6 subprograms that are developed. The protection subprogram includes the vigilance and security, which is irregular in La Rumorosa, but it is practiced in Jacumba Wilderness, where it is even useful for the rescue of people trapped in the mountains. The impact of exotic species is mitigated in this point, which includes the farm animals like the domestic sheep, vectors of diseases to the Bighorn. The management program develops a series of activities that led to the development of the local communities, like the checkpoint town of Cotillo in California, or the town of La Rumorosa, a distinguished stop in the route Mexicali-Tijuana. The restoration subprogram is the management of the habitat in the priority of the prioritary species, in this case the Bighorn sheep. But the knowledge subprogram, better decisions can be made by in which habitat the Bighorn uses, which one requires maintenance, and which one is better kept intact. Even in the success of the GIS program, giving a great quality of information, its conclusion in 2016 marked the return to the regular studies of the Bighorn sheep in this area. The culture subprogram determines the meaning of the Bighorn sheep and different structures around the proposal area, which can be utilized as source of income for the local towns, like the old highway in La Rumorosa, which is a common hiking spot, or the Casa de Piedra, stone home, a well-known local point. The administration subprogram is in charge of the financial sustenance of the proposal area and the better development of the human resources. In base of the target individual georeference points and the later studies about habitat and genetics, the proposal zonification area consists of a core zone where the individuals of Bighorn sheep cover the majority of its home range, represented in the red marks and the blue marks on the map. The buffer zone where the actions are the ones where the home range of market individuals is rare, but this can be seen or be affected from, and the influence zone which surrounds the proposal area. The proposal area score zone requires that the habitat is untouched, as this is the home range where the Bighorn sheep obtains the majority of the resources to survive. The recollection of scientific samples like pellets or audiovisual materials, for example, must be executed with maximum caution, the least possible time possible, or just in case of emergencies. A good example will be the use of trap cameras that need only a monthly maintenance. In the cursor are near a very important physical barrier, in this case the highway number 2 in Mexico. The employment of overpasses for the Bighorn is important to stop the genetic isolation. In the buffer zone, activities that require a little change of terrain can be executed, like walking trails for ecotourism or monitoring the activities of the Bighorn sheep from a safe distance with telescopes with a wider time window. Even though the extensive land use, like the installation of aero generators, must still be executed with caution, as these activities represent a considerable disturbance for the Bighorn. The influence zone is dedicated to activities like ecotourism and camping, to more traditional ones like agriculture, farming, and the maintenance of human infrastructure, as long as it doesn't disturb the habitat of the natural corridors of the species, in this case, the Bighorn sheep. The proposal advantages led the conservation of the Bighorn sheep and the prevention of the isolation of the local population, increase the scientific knowledge for better decision making, increase the security in this wall-less border area, and increase the trust between the institutions at both sides of the border, which can lead to better binational protection or security programs. The development of ecotouristic activities provides the local towns with an income to help its development, aside from more traditional activities like farming, Although the actual difficulty is to find enough compensation for the ejidatarios and the rent of their lands through energy enterprises. Here we have the reference for this presentation, and thank you for your attention. I am at your service.